Welcome back, everyone. Today we are talking about how to stay motivated when learning English, but in a very real way, not with magic tricks or perfect routines. If you have ever felt excited on Monday and tired by Thursday, this episode is for you. We want to talk about motivation as something normal, human, and possible to build.
Exactly, Emma. Many learners think motivation means feeling happy and full of energy every day, but that is not realistic. Some days you want to study, and other days your brain says, no thank you. The good news is that you can still make progress, even when you do not feel super motivated.
And I think this is important because English is not something you learn in one weekend. It is more like going to the gym or learning to cook. You need time, repetition, and patience. So today we will share simple ideas that help you continue, even when life is busy.
We will also talk about small goals, daily habits, mistakes, and how to enjoy English more. Because if learning feels only like an exam, it becomes heavy very fast. But if English becomes part of your music, your series, your phone, and your conversations, it feels lighter.
Yes. And if you are listening while walking, cooking, or going to work, perfect. You are already doing something useful. You are giving your ears more contact with English. And that is a real part of learning. Motivation often grows after you start.
That is a great point. Sometimes we wait to feel ready, but action can create the feeling. You open a short video, learn 3 useful expressions, and suddenly you feel, okay, I can do this. So let us begin with why motivation changes so much.
Motivation comes and goes because we are not machines. We have work, family, messages, stress, sleep, and many small things in our minds. So if one week you study a lot, and the next week you study less, it does not mean you are a bad learner. It means you are a normal person.
I like that because many students feel guilty. They say, I stopped for 3 days, so I failed. But 3 days is not failure. It is just 3 days. The important question is not, why did I stop? But how can I start again in a simple way?
Yes, the restart is very powerful. Maybe you do not need a big plan. Maybe you only need 10 minutes with a podcast, 1 page of a book, or 5 sentences in your notebook. A small restart tells your brain, English is still part of my life.
Also, motivation changes because progress is not always easy to see. At the beginning, you learn basic words, and you feel fast improvement. Later, you understand more, but the change feels slower. That does not mean nothing is happening. It means your learning is becoming deeper.
That is so true for B1 learners. You already know a lot, but you can still feel stuck because you want to speak faster or understand every word. The secret is to notice small wins. You understood a joke, you answered a question, or you watched a scene without subtitles.
So, the first idea is simple. Do not trust motivation only. Respect it when it appears, but do not depend on it. Build small systems that help you continue on normal days, tired days, and even boring days. That is much stronger than waiting for inspiration.
Now let us move to set small goals you can actually reach. Because big dreams are wonderful, but tiny actions make them real. Many learners say, I want to be fluent, and that is fine. But for today, your goal needs to be smaller, clearer, and easier to start.
Yes, because fluent is a beautiful word, but it is also very big. If your only goal is fluent, you may feel far away every day. A better goal could be, I will describe my weekend in English for 2 minutes. That is clear, useful, and possible.
I also like goals that connect to real life. For example, I will learn 5 phrases for my next trip, or I will write a short email in English. When the goal has a real reason, your brain understands why it matters. That makes motivation easier to find.
And small goals help you finish something. Finishing is important because it gives you a little success. If you say, I will study English all afternoon, maybe you do nothing because it feels too much. But if you say, I will listen to 1 short episode, you can finish it.
A useful question is, What is the smallest version of this task? If reading a chapter feels hard, read one paragraph. If speaking for 10 minutes feels scary, speak for 1 minute. You are not being lazy. You are making the door easier to open.
I love that image. The door. Motivation often stays outside when the door is too heavy. Small goals make the door lighter. Once you are inside, you often do more than you planned, but you did not need to fight yourself to begin.
Another idea is to make goals you can measure without stress. For example, I will learn 10 new words this week, but I will use them in sentences. The number helps, but the use is more important. Words become alive when you put them into your own life.
Yes, and you can create a simple weekly promise, not a perfect plan, just a promise. Maybe 3 short study moments in the week. If you do more, great. If you do only those 3, you still kept your promise, and that builds confidence.
Confidence is a big part of motivation. When you keep promises to yourself, even small ones, you start to believe, I am the kind of person who studies English. That identity is powerful. It is not about being perfect. It is about being consistent enough.
And please, choose goals that fit your real day, not your fantasy day. On a fantasy day, we have free time, clean desks, and perfect energy. On a real day, we have noise, messages, work, and tired eyes. Your English plan must survive the real day.
That means 5 focused minutes can be better than 1 hour that never happens. You can review vocabulary while waiting for coffee, or repeat phrases while walking. These small moments are not useless. They are little bricks, and little bricks can build a strong house.
So, for this week, try one small goal. Make it clear, make it possible, and make it connected to your life. When you finish it, celebrate it for a moment. That little celebration tells your brain, this feels good. Let us do it again.
Our next section is Make English part of your daily life. And this is where learning becomes more natural. You do not always need a desk, a pen, and a serious face. English can enter the small spaces of your day, like music, recipes, videos, and short messages.
Yes, and daily contact is powerful because it reduces fear. If English appears only in class, it can feel like a test. But if English appears while you are making breakfast or listening on the bus, it becomes familiar. Familiar things feel less scary.
One easy habit is to change one small part of your environment. Maybe your weather app is in English, or you follow one cooking channel in English. You do not need to understand everything. You are training your brain to see English as normal.
I tell students to create English islands during the day. An English island is a short moment where English is present. It could be a song, a voice note to yourself, or reading the title of an article. These islands help you cross the ocean slowly.
That is a beautiful idea, and it removes the pressure of one huge study session. If you have 3 or 4 English islands, your day already has learning inside it. It is like watering a plant a little every day instead of pouring a bucket once a month.
And the best island is the one you enjoy. If you hate business news, do not force yourself to read business news every morning. Choose football, fashion, travel, gaming, history, or anything you actually like. Interest gives energy, and energy helps motivation.
Another practical tip is to use English with things you already do. If you cook, watch a simple recipe in English. If you exercise, listen to an English playlist. If you clean the house, play a podcast. You are not adding a new activity. You are adding English to an old activity.
That is very important for busy people. Many learners say, I have no time, and sometimes that is true. But maybe you can replace 5 minutes of scrolling with 5 minutes of English. You do not need a perfect hour. You need a possible moment.
I also suggest speaking to yourself in English. It may feel strange at first, but it is very helpful. You can say, I am making coffee, I need my keys, or today I feel tired. Simple sentences train your mouth and make speaking less mysterious.
Yes, and you can do that in private, so there is no pressure. You can describe what you see, what you are doing, or what you want to do later. It does not need to be perfect. The goal is to make English come out more easily.
Another small habit is a daily question. Ask yourself one question in English every day, like, what was good today? Then answer with 2 or 3 sentences. This gives you repeated practice with your real thoughts, not only textbook examples.
When English becomes part of your daily life, motivation does not need to be so dramatic. You are not waiting for a big emotional moment. You are simply living with the language a little every day, and that quiet contact changes a lot over time.
Now we are in enjoy the process, not only the result. And I really love this part. Of course, results matter. You want to speak better, understand more, and feel confident, but if you hate every step, it is very hard to continue for months or years.
That is why fun is not a small thing. Some people think fun is not serious, but fun can keep you coming back. If you laugh at a video, enjoy a song, or like a character in a series, you create a positive feeling with English.
Exactly. You can choose materials that are interesting, not just materials that are correct for your level. Maybe a video is a little difficult, but you love the topic. That love can help you stay with it.
And it is okay to use easy content too. Sometimes learners think everything must be challenging, but easy content gives speed, comfort, and confidence. Reading or listening to something easy can be like a relaxing walk. You are still moving forward.
I agree. A good English routine has different flavors. Some days you do serious grammar practice. Some days you watch a funny video. Some days you repeat useful phrases. If every day looks the same, your brain may get bored.
That variety is important. Think of your English like food. You need healthy meals, but you also want something tasty. Grammar, vocabulary, and listening are the healthy meals. Songs, jokes, stories, and games can be the tasty part that keeps you happy.
One way to enjoy the process is to connect English to your personality. If you are a social person, join a conversation group. If you are quiet, write a small journal. If you love stories, read graded readers or short stories. Your learning should fit you.
That is so important because there is not one perfect method for everyone. A method can be excellent, but if it makes you miserable, you will stop. The best method is usually the one that you can repeat. Motivation likes methods that feel possible and personal.
Also, give yourself permission to rest. Enjoying the process does not mean studying every minute. Rest helps your brain organize new information. If you are always tired, English starts to feel like a punishment, and that is not what we want.
Yes, rest is part of learning. After a break, you may come back with more energy and a clearer mind. The key is to take real breaks, not breaks full of guilt. You can say, "Today I rest, and tomorrow I return with a small task."
Another thing that helps is noticing pleasure in small moments. Maybe you pronounce a word better than before, or you understand a sentence in a song. Stop and enjoy that. Those moments are not tiny, they are signs that your brain is changing.
So enjoy the path. You are not only studying for a future version of yourself, you are also becoming a person who can enjoy another language today. That feeling makes the journey softer, and a softer journey is easier to continue.
Now let us talk about use mistakes and plateaus as fuel, because this is where many learners lose motivation. A mistake can feel embarrassing, and a plateau can feel endless, but both are normal parts of learning, not signs that you should stop.
Mistakes are not proof that you are bad at English. They are information. A mistake shows you what to practice next. If you say something and someone corrects you, that moment can hurt a little, but it can also make your English stronger.
I like to think of mistakes as little lights. They show the places that need attention. If you never make mistakes, maybe you are staying too safe. Speaking a language means trying things before they are perfect, and that is brave.
And plateaus are tricky because you may be improving, but you cannot feel it. At B1, this is very common. You are learning more complex grammar, more natural phrases, and better listening skills. The progress is real, but it is less dramatic than at the beginning.
One solution is to collect evidence of progress. Record yourself speaking today, then listen again in 1 month. Keep old writing and compare it later. When you see the difference, you understand that your work was not lost, even if it felt invisible.
That evidence can protect your motivation. Feelings change, but recordings and old notes show facts. Maybe you still make mistakes, but you make different mistakes now. That means you are moving. Learning is not a straight line. It is more like a path with turns.
It also helps to change the question after a mistake. Instead of asking, "Why am I so bad?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" That small change is powerful. It moves you from shame to action, and action is much better for motivation.
Yes, and if someone corrects you, try to hear it as help, not attack. Of course, the way people correct matters, but a good correction is like a map. It shows you a better road. You can thank the person and try the sentence again.
For plateaus, try changing the type of practice. If you only read, add listening. If you only listen, add speaking. If you only study grammar, use the grammar in real sentences. A small change can wake up your brain and bring back interest.
You can also choose one weak area for a short time. Maybe pronunciation, maybe past tense, maybe listening to fast speech. Focus on it for 2 weeks with small daily practice. When the area improves, you feel new energy because the problem becomes smaller.
And please remember that native speakers make mistakes too. Everyone forgets words, changes sentences, and says things in a strange way sometimes. Communication is not perfect language. Communication is sharing meaning, asking again, and staying open.
So use mistakes and plateaus as signs, not walls. A sign tells you where to go next. A wall tells you to stop. But learning English is not asking you to stop. It is asking you to adjust, continue, and be kind to yourself.
Our final section is build support and keep going. Because motivation is much easier when you do not feel alone. Learning English can be personal, but it does not have to be lonely. Support can come from a teacher, a friend, an online group, or even a podcast like this.
Yes, support gives you energy when your own energy is low. A friend can ask, "Did you practice this week?" A teacher can show you progress you did not notice. A group can remind you that other learners have the same problems and the same doubts.
Sometimes just knowing that other people struggle is a relief. You realize, oh, it is not only me. Other people also forget words, feel nervous, and have busy weeks. That shared experience makes the journey feel more human and less lonely.
A simple support system could be one message per week to a study friend. You can share what you studied, what was hard, and what you want to do next. It does not need to be formal. The goal is connection and gentle accountability.
I like gentle accountability because strong pressure can make people disappear. If the system feels like punishment, you may avoid it. But if it feels friendly, you are more likely to return. A kind reminder can be much more useful than a hard rule.
And remember, support also means choosing your information carefully. If you follow accounts that make you feel stupid or late, maybe they are not helping. Choose voices that explain clearly, encourage you, and respect your level. Good support makes you feel capable.
Before we finish, let us make a simple plan for the listener. Choose one small goal, one daily English island, one enjoyable activity, and one way to get support. That is not a huge plan, but it is strong because it can live in a normal week.
And when you have a bad week, do not throw the plan away. Make it smaller. If you cannot study for 20 minutes, study for 5. If you cannot speak with someone, speak to yourself. Keeping the connection alive is more important than doing everything perfectly.
That is the heart of motivation for me. It is not always a big fire. Sometimes it is a small candle. Your job is not to make a huge fire every day. Your job is to protect the candle so it can stay alive until the next good day.
Beautifully said. And to everyone listening, your English does not need to be perfect to be useful. Every time you listen, read, speak, or write, you are building something. Some days you build a lot, and some days you build a little.
So, thank you for spending this time with us. We hope you leave this episode with less pressure and more hope. Try one idea today, just one, and see how it feels. Learning English is a long road, but you do not have to walk it all at once.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Keep going. Be patient with yourself, and remember that small steps can change your English over time. We will see you in the next episode. Until then, enjoy your English, even if it is just for a few minutes today.